Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. In the last part we defeated Oogie Boogie as well as his manor form over in Halloween Town, finishing off the plot over there, and then wrapped up the rest of the plot in 100 Acrewood, finishing both worlds off, barring occasional side visits here and again for one reason or another. With that, it's now time for us to access our next world. So, I already brought this up in an earlier video in an on-screen annotation, but the next world's unlock is a little bit interesting in that it doesn't require completing all the worlds in this sector. It instead requires 2 of any of the 3 worlds to be completed between Monstro, Atlantica, and Halloween Town. And due to that, there have been some playthroughs for me for this game where I'll say completely ditch Monstro or Atlantica and then complete Halloween Town and the other one of those 2, and just move on from there because I don't feel like doing the other world. That's also technically what allows you to do what I mentioned back in Monstro, where you can actively complete this upcoming world, and then head back there where the cutscenes will be different and Riku won't be helping you during the Parasite Cage fight. Oh, big ship is catching up to us. Quit gawking! That's a pirate ship! It's going to ram us! Hold on tight!
I didn't think you'd come, Sora. Good to see you again.
Well, where are Donald and Goofy?
Are they that important to you? More important than old friends? Instead of worrying about them, you should be asking about her.
Kairi!
That's right. While you were off goofing around, I finally found her.
Not so fast. No shenanigans aboard my vessel, boy.
Riku, why are you siding with the Heartless?
The Heartless obey me now, Sora. Now I have nothing to fear.
You're stupid! Sooner or later they'll swallow your heart!
Not a chance. My heart's too strong.
Riku!
I've picked up a few other tricks as well. Like this, for instance. You can go see your friends now.
Ah!
Let's get underway already. And keep Sora away from Kairi until we're ready to land.
That scurvy brat thinks he can order me around.
What shall we do, Captain Hook?
Nothing! The hold is crawling with Heartless. Let them keep an eye on the brats.
But, Captain, you know who is also down...
Shh! Did you hear that, Smee? Oh, that dreadful sound.
No, Captain.
Are you quite sure? Did I imagine it? Oh, my poor nerves.
You don't say.
Yeah, it was definitely Kairi. I finally found her.
All right. Yep. Then let's go up and talk to her.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, but first, how about getting off?
Oh, sorry.
How you doing there? Looking for a way out?
Who are you?
I'm the answer to your prayers. Okay then. Fine. Have it your way.
But you're stuck in here too, aren't you?
Huh. Nope, I'm just waiting for someone.
Who?
Tinkerbell, what took you so long? Great job. So you found Wendy? Hold on. There was another girl there too? Are you crazy? There's no way I'm gonna leave Wendy there.
Aha! She must be pretty jealous.
Come on, Tink. Open up the door. I'm Peter Pan.
I'm Sora.
Okay, we're in this together, but only till we find Wendy.
Welcome to Neverland. This is actively overall the smallest world in the game, as 90% of it is just Captain Hook's pirate ship, which is itself very small. Starting off, we've now recruited Peter Pan, who's a bit closer to the usual thief subtyping in various other RPGs when it comes to his stats. I think he has the lowest attack power, barring maybe Ariel in his physical attacks, but he has one of the highest attack speeds. Plus, he also fights while floating about, which gives him pretty good movement potential compared to all other physical fighters outside of Atlantica. With that said, I only really use him once in the LP. But we also got a lot new unique Heartless in this world. In fact, we've seen two already, the pirates here as well as the AntiSora that was there a moment ago. Pirates are very aggressive Heartless, but they telegraph most of their attacks with a lean backwards before they swipe. They can either swipe their sword normally, charge it up for a stronger attack, do two different jump heights with either a horizontal or a downward swipe depending on the height. If you knock them down, they have a high chance of doing a wake-up attack as well. And if you actively make them flinch or repel their attacks, they have a very high chance to do an automatic counter attack that's a very fast swing. With that said, if you're quick on the press, you can also actively counter that counter, and thus just continue a chain until they decide to give it up, effectively. AntiSora, on the other hand, much like Peter Pan's Shadow in the movie, is more around to try and taunt us. With that said, it does have two attacks, it can either kick you or fly directly into you. And the kick, I believe, if it misses you or if it makes contact, will either make it lose money or make you drop money as well, so watch out for that. With that said, make sure they're always your priority target whenever you see them, as they give a pretty good chunk of tech points for beating them. As we get through this massive Heartless down here, though, let's talk voice actors again. Peter Pan here is voiced in English by Christopher Steele, who voice work-wise only ever really played this character. In fact, as far as I can find, his entire career is recreating Robert Driscoll's voice from the original film in various projects, be they game, animation, or even theme park attraction. In Japanese, Peter is voiced by Mitsuo Iwata, who's also the voice of Silverbolt in the Japanese dub of Beast Wars, Emporio Ivankov in One Piece, Crowry and D. Greyman, Jaeger and Vesperia, and has been the voice of Orban in Sonics and Sonic Forces.
So, how come you can fly?
Anyone can fly. You want to try? Aw, haven't you cooled off yet, Tink? Just a little bit of pixie dust. There, now you can fly.
What? So Wendy's not one of the chosen ones?
There are 7, supposedly. And Maleficent says she's not one of them. Hoist anchor as soon as possible. Leave all the dead weight behind, including her.
After the trouble of capturing her? And why those 7? What is Maleficent planning anyway?
Who knows? As long as it means getting Kyrie's heart back, I couldn't care less.
You're wasting your time. The Heartless have devoured that girl's heart. I'll stake me other hand it's lost forever.
I will find it, no matter what.
Captain?
What?
The prisoners have escaped. What's more, Peter Pan is with them.
Blast that Peter Pan. All right then. Bring the hostage to me cabin, Smee. Hop to it.
What is it, Tink?
Peter? Peter Pan?
Wendy!
Please, hurry! The pirates are coming!
What? I'll be right up there. Just hold on.
Wendy?
Yes?
Is there another girl in there with you?
Oh, why, yes. But she seems to be asleep. She hasn't budged an inch.
Kyrie? Kyrie! Oh!
Oh!
Wendy! Hey, let's get up there.
Clearly not all is well, but at least we finally found her. While I find the way to get up there, because there is a hole in the fencing above us we can use to jump up there, worth noting Captain Hook and Smee's English voice actors we've already spoken about, as they are voiced by Corey Burton and Jeff Bennett, respectively. I'll talk about their Japanese VAs in a few moments, though, as I gotta hit this Green Trinity to drop a ladder down, and once we climb that ladder, there's immediately going to be another cutscene. I take him up to do this myself as well, but after you lower this ladder, I would really, really recommend saving, especially if A, you're on proud mode, or B, if it's your first playthrough, as what awaits us up there can be a bit of a wake-up.
Riku, wait!
Meet the AntiSora, wholly distinct from the shadows we've seen up to now in this world. Getting ahead of ourselves, I don't do it here, but I strongly suggest having arrow on your shortcuts here to help out against any potential damage. Most of this boss's attacks are just mirrors of Sora's basic ground combo, in specific a vertical, horizontal, thrusting, and turnaround slash in the case you're behind them. It thankfully doesn't have access to our magic or abilities, but it does still have pretty good evasive abilities as it can just fall into the shadows on the floor like the basic Shadow Heartless can and move about wildly. Be careful when it does this though, as it can erupt out of the ground at any point when you're near it with an upward strike that deals very heavy damage. The real nightmare here is the latter half or so of the fight, when it starts summoning clones of itself frequently, usually about 2 of them. They can do every single attack the real one can, with the exact same damage too, but they often choose just to kind of waltz about the room unless you or one of your party members is nearby. Finding the real one is pretty easy though, as the clones only have 1 HP. Scan thus can easily designate which is which in case you either want to thin the herd or focus the main body. Dodge rolling is incredibly effective here given the AntiSora's small range, and their preference to generally stay on the main floor or couch means that bed with a chest in the one corner actually makes for a good safe spot to heal. This fight can be real rough, especially for first-timers, those who play very aggressively or get this proud mode again, but ultimately, as long as you have a pretty good level at this point or a good weapon, you can make it through pretty quickly. So, Hook's Japanese VA is Chikao Otsuka, prior to his death in 2015 and some archival audio after the fact. Across his life, he also voiced Mercenary Tao in Dragon Ball, Wario, Joseph Joestar in the 90s Stardust Crusader OVAs, Gold Roger in One Piece, and starting in Sonic Adventure until his passing, he was the voice of Eggman and any of his main relatives that looked like him. The Raven's Claw is a really good accessory for the latter chunk of the game, as it boosts the equipped person's strength and defense by 2 while also giving them a 20% dark damage resistance, which is incredibly common at the end game. So we got Sliding Dash right there for hitting level 39. As a reminder, that gives Sora a slide to close the distance on enemies just far enough away, and was the level 6 ability for Dream Sword Choosers, so their first ability, period. Dream Sword Choosers at that point get Ripple Drive, which we've talked about before. That's a pretty early game Dream Rod ability. While Dream Rod Choosers get Leaf Bracer there. Come on over here and examine this pretty easily missed trapdoor, and we can drop down to the next room.
Wendy! Come on, Tink! Not now! Well, this is as far as I can go. I gotta help Wendy.
Now that we know Wendy is safe, we're already primed to go finish this world. Potential levels needed for survivability depending on the player or difficulty notwithstanding. The pirates make for good grinding fodder, not for nothing. Our goal is to reach the ship's deck, which is accessed through the captain's quarters we fought the AntiSora in. To reach there, we just have to do a quick loop out into this hallway and through that next door we see there on the right, and then back up the ladder where the AntiSora was. In the meanwhile, Smee is voiced in Japanese by Kazuo Kamakura, who's also the voice of Geppetto in the Japanese audio track of this game, so we've already talked about that VA. And while part of my brain is saying I didn't, I distinctly remember saying that he was the voice of Baby in Monster, and well, him voicing that character will stick with anyone if you've ever watched or read Monster. I recommend it and Pluto by the same artist. It's really good, but that said, it is also very, very heavy. I believe I take a moment right now to actively go equip Sliding Dash too, because not for nothing, against the boss fight of this world, it can come in handy more often than you'd think.
Quite a codfish, that Riku, running off with that girl without even saying goodbye.
Run off where? Tell me, where did he go?
To the ruins of Hollow Bastion, where Maleficent resides. But you won't be going there. Unless you intend to leave your little pixie friend behind. Hand over the Keyblade and I'll spare your lives. Glad I'm merciful, unlike the Heartless. So, which will it be? The Keyblade or the plank? It's him, the crocodile that took me hand. Oh, Speed, he's after me other hand. I can't stay here. Go away. Oh, I can't stand the sight of him. Speed, you take care of that.
Fly, Sora. Just believe, and you can do it.
Thanks, Peter.
Hey, don't mention it. You didn't think I'd leave you and Tink behind, did you?
And finally, nearly 3/4 of the way into the LP, we finally get an upgrade from Cure to Cura, which actively just increases the amount of HP Cure heals. In Neverland, Sora and his friends can fly. While jumping, press circle to fly, then press circle to rise and square to descend. You're all going down! Yes, the Atlantica swimming controls aren't just for swimming in Atlantica, they're also how we fly in Neverland, albeit you can only do so after that cutscene. The weird thing is that while it is the same controls as swimming in Atlantica, I think it's overall faster and snappier, especially when it comes to homing in on targets. Thus, I ultimately prefer flying to swimming. Mind you also do a lot less of the former than the latter, so it might just be an exposure thing on top of which is how many more abilities you have access to here, because we're not locked to being a fish. In any case, before we fight the proper boss of this world, we do have several more enemies to fight here, and once we deal with the first set of pirates, a new one spawns in, air pirates. They're a lot less aggressive and guard-happy than their land-locked cousins. Attack-wise, they can do an uppercut if you're nearby, which does hit hard but is easy to avoid, and they can charge up their fist to do a downward strike that's pretty easy to read and get around. They're more evasive than their cousins due to their airborne nature, but now that we can fly ourselves, that's not really an issue, is it? Ooh, another new enemy, the battleship. These big boats have several moving parts that you can destroy for some extra tech points, as well as negate some of their attacks. They can fire both standard and homing bullets from their destroyable cannons, as well as a curative attack you can intercept for some free heals yourself. It can do a bombing run that can be negated by destroying the mast of the ship, which I believe also limits its movement in some form. Gravity is a spell line can outright destroy the mast, while also chunking its absurd health pool pretty greatly. The only attack it has left if you destroy the mast as well as the cannons is the charge forward it just did, which hurts, but is pretty easily avoided with either a properly timed guard or just, moving up and down.
Is that you, Smee? Did you finish them off?
Aye, Captain. They walked the plank, every last one of them.
Peter Pan, lost you!
Ready to make a splash, you codfish? Now it's your turn to walk the plank.
Time for Captain Hook. He mainly attacks using his rapier, which while thin, does big damage against you and your party. He can swing it twice in the shape of an X, as well as do a thrusting combo where he does a quick dash attack forward after 2 other swipes. If you fly up too high in the air, he can toss a present at you, which while seemingly nice, probably explodes in your face. And if you fly up around him just out of his reach, he will try to hit you with a jumping attack that's pretty powerful. Hook himself can't fly though, so if you need to recoup, flying off to the side of the ship can help. Just watch out for the battleship Heartless that spawn in, as they can surprise you and are there to make sure you don't just distance camp the man. Occasionally as you're walloping him, he will get really mad and just turn beet red, and when that happens, he's effectively berserk. He's gonna dash at you and try to close the distance. If he gets too close, he'll unleash a fast blur of swings with his rapier that do, frankly, nuts damage. It's easily his most damaging attack. With that said, the mode is always preceded by him whistling, and if you outlast him, he gets really tired, leaving him open for a big reprisal. Plus, flying can help you get out of range of that. Also worth noting is that he has several reactions to Sora's direct magic. He's outright immune to thunder damage, as he uses his rapier as a lightning rod. And if you, Donald, or even the battleship Heartless themselves use a fire attack on him enough, his pants will light on fire, and he'll dash around wildly trying to put it out. That counts as an attack, as if he runs into you, it does pretty hefty damage, so stay in the air to avoid that. Otherwise, he can do as the pirate Heartless themselves do and repel your strikes and try to immediately counter with a riposte. Worth noting though, like with Oogie's Manor and the opposite armor, you can leave this fight via the door we entered through if you're getting overwhelmed. If memory serves though, unlike those fights, Hook's HP does not restore as long as you stay in the world. Thus you can head back into his captain's quarters, restock your items, and then get back to fighting the man no problem. Not for nothing though, while he is immune to thunder damage, his animation of absorbing the spell can be pretty handy. Since him doing that doesn't recover his HP, you can use it to make an opening for a ground combo. As long as you have the MP to cast the spell, you can keep doing that to whittle down his HP. Otherwise, only thing left to really mention is that if he falls off or gets knocked off the boat at some point, he does jump back on, screaming due to his grand nemesis in the waters below, but it doesn't do any damage to him, sadly. While Captain Hook definitely hits really hard, he's probably my favorite boss of the mid-game, as you can just go at this fight from so many different angles, and each of them is just about as satisfying as the last. Though I often do prefer just to go mano-a-mano, melee only, if only for the sake of the honor of the duel, I suppose. For clearing that fight, we get the Ars Arcanum limit for Sword, which I'll talk about next time, as well as the Ansem's Report 9, which I'll read eventually. For now, we got a lot more cutscenes.
Oh, Kyrie couldn't wake up, so maybe she's really lost her...
Sora,
I still can't believe it. I really flew. Wait till I tell Kyrie. I wonder if she'll believe me. Probably not.
you can bring her to Neverland sometime. Then she can try it herself.
If you believe, you can do anything, right? I'll find Kyrie. I know I will. There's so much I want to tell her about flying, the pirates, and everything else that's happened.
What's that, Tink? What about the clock tower? You say there's something there.
But we'll have to see what's at the clock tower next time. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 27, we're going to finish off our time in Neverland for now once again, before seeing where we can go next to continue our journey. See you guys then.